Some people disappear without a trace. No goodbye. No evidence. No explanation. And sometimes, they vanish in places where escape should have been impossible. This is Remnant. Today, we are covering 5 of the most disturbing unsolved disappearances ever recorded. Real people. Real investigations. And mysteries nobody has been able to explain. Case 1, Brian Shaffer, March 31, 2006. Columbus, Ohio. 27-year-old medical student Brian Shaffer went out drinking with friends at a crowded bar called the Ugly Tuna Saloon. At around 2 a.m., security cameras captured Brian outside the entrance talking with 2 women. Moments later, he walked back toward the bar. And then, he vanished. Investigators reviewed every camera angle inside the building. Brian was never seen leaving. Not through the front door. Not through the emergency exits. Nowhere. His phone was never used again. His bank accounts were untouched. And no body was ever found. Brian Shaffer simply disappeared inside a crowded bar full of people. Case 2, Maura Murray, February 9, 2004. New Hampshire. 21-year-old nursing student Maura Murray crashed her car on a dark rural road after a snowstorm. A nearby resident stopped to help, but Maura refused assistance and asked him not to call police. He returned home. 7 minutes later, police arrived. Maura was gone. Her car contained packed bags, alcohol, and directions to a ski resort. Search teams scanned the woods for days using dogs and helicopters. Nothing was found. More than 20 years later, nobody knows what happened to Maura Murray. Case 3, Jean Spangler, October 7, 1949. Hollywood actress Jean Spangler left home saying she was meeting her ex-husband before going to a movie shoot. She never came back. 2 days later, her purse was discovered in Griffith Park. Inside was a cryptic handwritten note: "Kirk, can't wait any longer. Going to see Dr. Scott." Nobody ever identified who Kirk was. And no doctor named Scott was connected to the case. Jean Spangler vanished without a trace. And nearly 80 years later, the mystery remains unsolved. Case 4, Johnny Gosch, September 5, 1982. 12-year-old Johnny Gosch left home early in the morning to deliver newspapers. A neighbor later reported seeing Johnny speaking to a man beside a car. Moments later, both of them drove away. The witness assumed it was a relative. It wasn't. Johnny's wagon was later found abandoned nearby, still full of newspapers. Johnny Gosch never returned home. His case became one of the most famous missing child investigations in America. And despite decades of searching, he was never officially found. Case 5, Trevor Deely, December 8, 2000. 22-year-old Trevor Deely attended a work Christmas party in Dublin, Ireland. Security cameras captured him walking home alone during the early hours of the morning. But investigators noticed something disturbing. A shadowy figure appeared to be following Trevor through the streets. The final footage showed Trevor walking toward a canal bridge at 4:14 a.m. He was never seen again. Police investigated the mysterious figure but never made an arrest. Trevor Deely vanished into the night. And his case remains unsolved to this day. 5 people. 5 impossible disappearances. And almost no answers. Brian Shaffer. Maura Murray. Jean Spangler. Johnny Gosch. Trevor Deely. All vanished suddenly. All vanished publicly. And none were ever found. This is Remnant. Subscribe for more unsolved mysteries, forgotten cases, and stories that refuse to stay buried. Some stories never die.